I'm Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. Yeah, you know me. You're watching Toasted.
Dee Snider, welcome. Proclaimed officially king of Graspop.
Yeah, apparently, yes, I heard that was in the papers, and I accept the title. I mean, Axl Rose may be upset about that, but
I don't think he'll show up.
too bad. You got to work harder.
I don't think he'll show up.
You don't think he's going to show up?
Well, I didn't see any square lemons or fruits that he normally has on his rider, so
Uh-oh. You think he might not show up tonight?
there's always a small chance.
Oh, yeah, you never know.
Just kidding. Hey, one of the reasons we love doing this interview with you, you issued a book. I got it here. Mind-blowing stuff.
Thanks, man. Shut up and give me the mic. Shut up and give me the mic. Shut up and give me the mic. Yeah, I wrote it myself. Every single word is my own, and it's my story, and very different from the other Rockstar books, I think.
Because it starts off, and I quote, "If you love sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and that's all you want to read about, don't read this book."
Yeah.
All right, you got some flack about it as well, right?
Yeah, I call it forewarned instead of the forward. It says forewarned.
No, and I like that part where you said, like, if you're a junkie, I'm gonna read about it because it's kids. This is going to be reading books with Dee Snider. If the only things to float your boat are journals from drug adult, ex-junkies, sex-addicted rockers, forget it. Those books are bullshit anyway. Have you ever known a junkie? They can't remember what they did 30 minutes ago, let alone 30 years ago. They kept a journal and you believe them? Real heroin addicts can't hold their own dicks. Forget about a pen and a pencil. And who isn't addicted to sex? What a scam. Of course you're
It's true.
yeah, of course.
It's true. One of my roommates was a heroin addict. He was just. I mean, I tell him, dude, they can't remember shit.
But you were, of course, pointing to Motley Crue, the book that was just released as well, right?
Well, actually, Nikki asked me about that. I said, no, I wasn't talking about your book. I was talking about the Basketball Diaries. Look, the bottom line is, any book who was written by a heroin addict is not really, can't be truthful. It can't be truthful.
I was astounded to discover that actually Lemmy Kilmister himself gave you guys a big break when you're playing Reading, right?
Oh, yeah. Lemmy.
Beautiful story.
Lemmy, I could call him our fairy godmother, the ugliest fairy godmother in the world. I thought they were supposed to be pretty. Lemmy has just been like Saint Lemmy in our world. I mean, I really think that if Lemmy hadn't stepped in the times he did and give us his blessing to his audience, that we wouldn't have gotten the opportunity we got to show what we were worth. So, yeah, Lemmy I will always love that dude. And he's a great guy. I mean, I think his fans know that, and he's just a real, what a rock and roll heart he has.
Another theme, especially in the beginning of your book, is your relationship with your dad, and of course he's prominent in your famous videos. You're really frank in this book, and you even call him a dick one time.
Oh yes, yeah, I call my dad a dick. It's funny because he actually no, he actually said that to my brother though. He said, I read Dee's book. He called me a dick. That stuck out to him when I called him a dick. You were a dick. Stop being a dick. You won't get called a dick.
Just for the record, I mean, you guys, the band was actually in existence for 7 years. You played for over 2,000 gigs, had like 200,000 fans, yet still no record deal whatsoever.
Yeah, Twisted was together a long time. It cracks me up though when people say, overnight sensation. I'm like, what? They jumped on the bandwagon. Jumped on the bandwagon? We made the bandwagon. There was no hair metal. There was no glam rock. It was Twisted Sister and other metal bands. We were just a weird metal band, So, yeah, it took us a very long time. Actually, not to it was 6.5 years till we got a deal, which was an indie deal in England, and 8 years until we broke, internationally and made it. So it was a long, tough road. And like I said, writing it all down in my book. Shut up and give me the mic. I step back and go, crap. Like, if somebody had said to me, here is the book of your life, This is what you're going to happen to you. You're going to be successful, but this is what's going to happen to you. Read it. I think when I finish, I would go, yeah, I'm not going to do this. Twisted Sister inspiration comes from the early 70s glitter era.
Yeah.
When I joined Twisted Sister in 1976, glitter was over,
Yeah.
and nobody was doing that anymore.
So why did you choose to be like that?
Because I loved it.
Way.
I loved the excitement, the interest, the reaction it got out of people. I loved dressing up and looking different and being different, and
You didn't mind that people thought like, well, there's a transvestite for you?
Well, said I didn't, but clearly I did, because every night somebody would call me a fag or something, or a gay, and I would get in a fight. So I'm not exactly sure what I thought they were going to call me. Hey, macho, So, but I wanted a reaction. I love new music, but that's a problem with a lot of new music, is the rock stars. People don't look like rock stars anymore. They're not larger than life. They're not special. And, I wanted to be different from the audience. So taking that glitter look and making it part of our metal sound made us different. But there was no Motley Crue, no Rat, no Wasp, no any of those hair bands, Poison. There was just Twisted Sister. And so when we first came out and we first got signed, we were just out there with Metallica and Saxon and Iron Maiden and all these bands touring and doing these shows, and we were just an odd metal band. It became hair metal when other bands started to imitate us and start to use that, the makeup and hair in their own way. So, but we're the original. I say we're the original hair farmers. We were farming hair way before anybody else.
You were good at it too.
Yeah, I was damn good at it.
Another thing that I was wondering about, that's the second thing you think as a guy. Well, you wrote down in this book, ladies and gentlemen, again, you wrote down number one reason for a guy to join a band is because it's easy to pick up chicks.
Yeah, I think that probably 99% of all guys who got into rock and roll was to get girls.
So then you dress up as a transvestite, and you still end up with the hottest woman on the planet.
Yeah, that's an odd thing. Not just. We'll talk about me in a second, but let's just talk about that in general. The idea of, first of all, that these metal bands in the early '80s, we were playing to like an all-male audience. Not all, but predominantly male audience. So you had all these guys, even the macho ones, being up there, and it was all like screaming guys. Girls started to get into it, and I think that the glamminess had helped appeal to the girls. But you got guys who were looking feminine, hooking up with the hot girls, which is completely, I don't know what that even means. But on my front, in defense, my wife's defense, she was repulsed by me. She wanted nothing to do with me. She couldn't stand me.
It says she smiled at you all the time when she first saw you on the show, right?
Yeah, she smiled at me because I was wearing a T-shirt that says "I'm Dee, blow me," and she thought it was funny. That's why she was smiling. She says, "Look at that asshole." I have the T-shirt on in the book. I found the picture. I say, "See, you thought I was lying. I really had a shirt that said "I'm Dee, blow me."
Did it help, actually?
No, actually it didn't. I think it was off-putting. I think it was making it too obvious, like, look, I want to suck your dick, but if you're going to put a sign on, then everybody knows what we were doing, what I'm doing. So that cheapens it.
But you got the girl, and
yes, I got her because I won her heart by stripping away all the bullshit and just being a person. But she's the one who encouraged me to wear more makeup, to put on lipstick, nail polish, all those things. She was the one making me do it. Not making me, but she thought it was crazy and I should do more. Being screwed by the record industry is part of the journey. It's a sad reality. And it's not just record industry. It's kind of in any industry. I remember my wife, who's graduated from the Fashion Institute of Technology, top of her class. The day she got out, she got a call from Betsy Johnson wanted to hire her. It's like, wow, I love your work, Betsy, and I would love to work for you. And then she found out that Betsy would take her designs and put her name on them. And my wife was like, fuck that. I'm not doing that. And I said, yeah, well, I kind of think that that's how it works. That's just called paying your dues. And it sucks and it's wrong and it's fucked up, but it goes on. And every job you get shit on by the people on top of you before you get up to the point. And one thing I'll say to people is break the cycle. Don't. And what everybody does is they get shit on, and the minute they get in a position of power, the first thing they do is shit on the people below them. And they say, well, I got shit on, so I'm going to shit on people. You don't have to. You don't got to. You could stop the pattern. You can say, I'm going to do it different. I'm not going to shit on those people. Why? Because I don't want them to experience what I experienced. And that's me. I've always, Twisted Sister got no help along the way, and I always try to help. And anytime I see a band or an artist that I can make a phone call for, or I can somehow help, I do whatever I can. Just because. Not, and give me a piece of the action, or I want a percentage, or I want to be paid. No, just because it's the right thing to do, and that's what I wish people had done for me. So, break the cycle. But people thought I was anti-drugs and anti-alcohol, and I'm not. I get it. I get why people get high. I get why people get drunk. I'm just anti-asshole. If you're going to change it to another person when you're high, then I have a problem with that. And Lemmy Kilmister, I love Lemmy. He's a dear friend. Guy is high as a fucking kite, drunk as a skunk, and he's always Lemmy. And I'm totally cool. And Lemmy has no problem with me being straight. I remember the first time I was with Lemmy, and he said, hey man, I want to do a line. And I said, I don't get high. He said, okay, more for me. That's the right attitude. Some people would look at me like I was strange or something, but Lemmy was like, all right.
Funny part in the book as well is where you return to your school and you meet the guy in the hall, the janitor that used to be a colleague of yours when you're working in a supermarket or a store magazine somewhere, and your nickname was the rock star because the first day you came in you said, hey man, what do you want to do? You want to work along here? No, I'm going to be a rock star. I'm going to get the hell out as soon as possible. From that day on, they bullied you and whatever. You met that guy again in school when you were really famous, right?
Yeah, I mean, people tell you revenge isn't sweet. No, it's really sweet. It's the best. Hot, served hot, cold, any way you want, man. And yeah, I used to get, on the jobs where I work places, I would be very open that I wanted to be a rock star. I was going to be a rock star, positive mental attitude. And everybody else working on the trucks, unloading trucks or whatever, mowing lawns, doing whatever shitty job I was doing, they thought it was funny that I thought I was going to get out. I was going to escape my fate, not the band. And great band, by the way. Ollie and the boys, I like Escape the Fate. And they would make fun of me. And my nickname would always be Rockstar. Hey, Rockstar, go pick up the shit. Hey, Rockstar, go take out the garbage. Hey, whenever chance they could to make fun of the fact that I wanted to be more. I dreamed. I had a dream, and they didn't. They would make fun of me. Years later, when I was a rock star, I was doing a big national magazine photo shoot, and they were bringing me to my old high school. People Magazine. You have People Magazine here. They wanted to get a shot of me in my high school, and here the unpopular kid goes back to his high school, and everybody is losing their minds. I mean, imagine, you're a high school kid, and one of the biggest rock stars in the world walks in, and they're going nuts, and I'm walking through the school, and it's just like pandemonium, and I see one of the guys who used to make fun of me mopping up the floor. And I stopped, and I said, hey, man, remember me? Rockstar. And he goes, hey, how you doing? He goes, yeah. And I go, yeah. So I'm a rock star and doing good, and how you doing? And he's standing with the mop in his hand, and and just like, things. I said, well, I got to go do this photo shoot, rock star and all that. See you later. Tell the boys rock star said hi. Yeah, having it easy when you're young is the kiss of death for any creativity, any kind of art, any kind of imaginative development. You would not have computers if all those geeks were getting laid. Okay, those geeks were sitting in their room playing with electronics and compute ideas and being creative. So I mean, all creativity comes from, I don't know, not necessarily negativity, but comes from the non-acceptance and comes from not having it easy. So if you're suffering through a difficult youth, just know it gets better, and you're all that time you're spending focusing on your passion will pay off.
When you were down, I mean, you have so many famous and influential friends. Didn't anyone help you out?
No, I wouldn't even think to ask. A, I wouldn't ask for a handout, and B, I disconnected from everybody because I didn't think they would want to know me anymore. Like I talk about in the book that Alice Cooper had sang on my album and wanted me to sing on his, and I just stopped returning his phone calls because I thought it was just like out of like pity that he was calling. Yeah. Like I didn't want to. I didn't want to. He doesn't want to know me anymore. I'm not. I didn't think I was worth anything.
How wrong you were.
Yeah, I was wrong, but and your worth is not, in what you have or who you are. It's not or what you are. It's who you are inside, and certain people started to make me realize that. Howard Stern, who still continued to have me on his radio show even when my fame disappeared, because I was a great guest, and it didn't matter if I was famous, I was good, so we started to learn, I started to learn what my real worth was.
Will Twisted Sister be back in Europe playing more gigs?
I have no idea. Every year I say it's the last, but they keep pulling me back. And then when I go out there, I go, dude, I'm fucking old. And they go, did you see what you were doing last night? And I go, I know, it was pretty cool. But I've always wondered if the next year I'm going to be able to do it. I don't ever want to do less than what you saw last night. And at some point, gravity will beat me. Gravity wins. Oh yeah, gravity wins. The body is in the ground will tell you. Eventually they pull us all right into the fucking ground.
You know what Lemmy said, if you say you're too old to rock, you are.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I am too old. I just fear disappointing people. It's not that I'm too old to rock. I just don't want to rock less. You know what I mean? And to see those faces, I mean, kids, I mean, especially young people are seeing me perform. They're going, holy shit, what the fuck is that? And I love, I was doing this book signing, and young kids were coming, they were bowing to me when I walked up because they don't see stuff like that. And I never want to leave a bad memory. So, and the fact is, if I had a knee surgery already, I've had a throat surgery. If I didn't have the knee surgery and the throat surgery, I would be done already. So we're up there thanks to various surgeries, medications, and braces and everything. So I mean, I don't want to stay past the time. I'll always rock, but I want to be able to rock like that. Otherwise, I don't want to do it.
We'll never see you rocking your wheelchair, probably.
Well, if the band has their way, I will, but will not do it.